The Wyatt Six in-ring debut has been confirmed, plus multiple AEW star contracts are expiring, and an absent WWE star is teasing a return feud. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. The Wyatt Six unmasked last night, and in doing so got themselves some matches for next week on Raw.
Yes, they did. Bloody Chad Gable deserves everything that's coming to him, Tom, because he's being nasty towards Maxine Dupree. And because he was being nasty, without getting physical, Maxine slapped him upside the head. But then other things happened, which then brought out a few members of the Wyatt Six, the one with the rabbit head, the one with the piggy head, and the one that Dexter Loomis is as well. He's like a vulture. And they all got in the ring, they all took their bloody masks off, so they did on the apron. Then they got in the ring. Couple of shoot uranogis there, Tom, to the Creed brothers. Eric Rowan does his double crossbody splash thing when he runs off the ropes, and then Chad's scurrying away because his two little boys have been felled. But who does he see at the top of the ramp? Uncle Howdy, who's got a slightly different mask, I think, compared to what we've seen. It looked a bit updated. I think they said on Twitter as well. He starts laughing, Chad runs away, and then we've set up the wrestling for next week.
So Chad takes credit for unmasking Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Loomis, and said that he wants a match against those three and him and his boys next week, 6-man tag.
Yeah.
And Adam Pearce says, be careful what you ask for, because you might get it, and they got it.
It's smart booking, in my opinion, because you could easily say this should be on the pay-per-view, but if it's on the pay-per-view, I would wager you'd have to have one team lose. And as Jack's been saying relentlessly on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast recently, it's too early for either faction to lose.
It's very true. So who might get some sort of non-finish?
Get them on Raw, have a DQ finish, yeah. No one cares if it's on Raw, do they?
I mean, there is that. And it's an easy main event for the Raw after SummerSlam as well. You know, you can build towards that and they can have some fun with that. One of the big moments from Raw wasn't even televised. It was something that happened behind the scenes, and it was the shock return to the WWE of a Hall of Famer.
Jesse the Body Ventura, fresh in from the Baja, as everyone has to do when they mention Jesse Ventura's name. Apparently, this return to the company of sorts comes after months of negotiations following a change in direction in the wake of Vince McMahon's departure.
Yeah, now Triple H posted on X a lovely video of him embracing Jesse Ventura as he arrived at the arena and says, "Welcome home, Jesse Ventura. Honored to have one of the all-time greats back to WWE Raw tonight." Jesse, as we say, is expected to sign a new WWE Legends deal. I think they can have a nightmare getting Jesse Ventura to sign a contract, because as he always says, I ain't got time to read. Yeah. The little joke about the Predator, the film what you were in.
Did you just dribble there, Tom? I didn't call this out because it looks very wet. Yeah.
Oh wow!
I've never seen that before from yourself on camera.
Delicious.
I know, yeah.
Slow-mo that if you can. Make everybody sick.
I just thought you could not see it, so I thought I'd bring it up so we could all have a laugh at it.
Own
the joke,
do.
And then you can't own the joke.
I think if the joke gets shared on socials, that's fine. Look, you can either share that or my brilliant song about booking Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman Page. At Tony Khan, you coward! Book Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman Page for AEW All In. Be a nice match. They'd have a lovely time together. But speaking of AEW, multiple contracts in the company seem to be expiring soon.
Penta and Rey Fenix, those are the contracts that are coming up soon, according to Fightful Select. This is the quote from Fightful Select, who say, those we've spoken to say that AEW want to retain Fenix and Penta, and there were offers extended and contract talks. We've not heard how those talks have been. Fenix, much like Penta, is expected to have interest from the WWE.
Surely
they
not.
want a world-class wrestler. I can't believe it.
It's the audacity, the lion, the witch, the audacity of that bitch to want some good wrestlers on the roster. I'm not surprised. They'll definitely court a few opportunities if this is the case, but I would imagine that Tony Khan and the lads are keen to keep them on the books.
It's an interesting time because the booking of the pair of them isn't where it was at one point, so maybe they're bracing themselves for a little bit of a departure. This is just me spitballing, because they were the focal point of the tag team division at one point. They're very much reducing their roles now. I know Phoenix has had injury issues over the last year or so, but it's just, I don't know. It's an interesting timing for this to be coming up.
I'd spitball with you, but I've already done it. Two other names heading WWE way for definite. These ones. Sources close to the Wrestling Observer are reporting that both Julia and Stephanie Vaka are imminently arriving in WWE. Julia could be as early as August 19th. She's already on the books, but she's finishing up her dates in Japan, and they reckon by the 19th she'll be in Orlando. Stephanie Vaka doesn't have a start date. Sources close to the Observer say that she is also arriving imminently. She is free and clear to do so.
And Roxanne Perez has mentioned both their names on screen, so that's immediately what they're going to be doing whenever they rock up.
How do you run it? Do you have Julia first and then Stephanie Vaka, or
both at the same time?
Both at the same time.
Let's go.
I'll take them both. I'm hardcore.
I wouldn't take them both at the same time because I'm not the prodigy Roxanne Perez. But if I was a prodigy, I would take them both on at the same time and slap them silly.
Oh,
yes, I would do.
I kind of feel like it's two feuds back to back that you could do.
Yeah, it probably is, Tom. Yeah.
And maybe you have something where one of them comes out, and as one comes out, a female wrestler from the roster attacks them, and therefore it gives them something to do while the other's doing something with Roxanne Perez. Looking ahead to the Great American Bash tonight, we've had a 6-woman tag announced.
Yeah, the baby faces of Sol, Ruka, Lola Vice, and Carmen Petrovic will take on the new toxic attraction in many people's opinions of JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley with a fresh heel turn and a fresh haircut. Ooh la la.
Heel turn equals haircut. That's the rules. That's been added to the Great American Bash Night 1, which also includes Unholy Union versus Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend of the Metaphor for the women's tag team titles.
It will also see the Heritage Cup on the line where Tony D'Angelo defends against Tavion Heights. What an athlete that man is, Tom.
He's good.
Olympian. He can throw men around. I reckon Tony's buggered.
Tony's buggered, as they say in the Dudoin. Women's title on the line for the NXT Women's title on the line. Roxanne Perez and Thea Hale. I think Thea's buggered there. As much as I love Thea Hale, I don't see her winning here.
Yeah, it's the underdog story. She'll come close, but not close enough. Joe Hendry makes things better. He can wrestle, he can sing. Joe Hendry makes things better for world wrestling entertainment. There's a live concert with Joe Hendry tonight. It'll sound just as good as that. It really will.
It sounds like that. Just Joe in the ring going, Joe Hendry.
Puts his little person voice on.
And
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Ethan Page and Aura Mensa, they're going to sign for their contract while Joe's singing, I hope.
Outrageous scenes with Aura Mensa. The lesson is, if you're an NXT wrestler, just attack someone after a match, and eventually, if you keep doing that, you'll get a title match. It's a load of bollocks, Tom. It really is a load of bollocks. I love NXT, but you got to call it out when it's bollocks, and that's what it is.
It's like it's all made up. And we'll end on a little bit of news about our returning star, Raquel Rodriguez, on the gram, sharing a photo of Liv Morgan.
She might just fancy her.
She might. I mean, there is a line for that. What line? This comes after PW Insider said there was internal talk about Rodriguez making a return to WWE. She's taken an extended break to battle mast cell activation, which is a real bad skin flare-up condition that she's been really fighting for the last year or so. The former tag champs are Morgan and Rodriguez.
Yeah, they won them from Shayna and Ronda way back in day, didn't they?
Back in the day of 2023. and so I think there's a nice oven-ready feud there. Should Liv move on to other things after Ripley, it seems?
I was going to say, because it feels like we're going to Bad Blood, maybe, with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. So could it be a feud after Bad Blood is out the way, after Liv Morgan has been wiped off the face of the earth? For a good 3 months, I reckon, is the time scale for her recovery, after the mother whizzle-wazzles her around a Hell in a Cell, potentially. I don't know. She's done some things as Liv Morgan. She deserves to be whizzle-wazzled.
Make that a Hell in a Cell, you absolute cowards. That'd be a good time, had I all. For the very latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Give us a song one more time.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't know why I decide to be the way I am sometimes, Tom.